And we've gone live. Shout out to Seymour. Seymour, thank you for being the first one here this morning. Morning thoughts, morning thoughts, morning thoughts. June O'Brien, thank you for being the second one in this morning. Shout out to the people going out to work this morning. Shout out to the people coming in from work this morning. Extra special big up shout out to the people who work multiple jobs. I have the utmost respect for you. Shout out to my entrepreneurs, my stay-at-home moms and pops, my retirees. Shout out to the drivers, the Uber driver, the Lyft driver, the truck driver, taxi driver, food delivery drivers, round town, long distance truck drivers. Shout out to every single clean hearted, good hearted person who wants good for others as much as you want good for yourself. You're a good person. Shout out to you. And welcome to Morning Thoughts with SouFLoTV. Here we are. We got a couple of things to talk about this morning. Sean Cassell, big up yourself. Thank you for being here this morning as well. And then we are going to get on with the show. I have some green tea in my cup this morning, sipping. It's Monday morning. It's one of those mornings. I feel tired. I feel overworked. But I did get up early this morning and go to the gym. I was at the gym by like 3:30 a.m. this morning. I was the only one there and got a good workout, so I feel that way there. Please like the video as you join the live, Sean Cassell says. All right, so not waiting on anybody this morning. We're rocking and rolling. So here's what we're going to be talking about this morning. Who does marriage benefit more, men or women? I think this is going to be a very interesting conversation. And let me say this. If you're thin-skinned, if you're defensive, if you are triggered easily, if you are any of the above, you might not want to be a part of this discussion this morning. But that's where we're going with it. Who does marriage benefit more, man or woman? That's part of the discussion. Is the FBI helping with the SSL fraud case? So I put a video up yesterday on the channel about I think the video had something to do with Usain Bolt's money. I don't know. I put up about 3 videos yesterday. But the one that has to do with not just Usain Bolt's money, but the whole investigation into where did all these people's money go? Not just Bolt's money. Even Usain Bolt spoke about the other people's money. Because some people in the comment section were like, why are you still talk about Usain Bolt money like a Usain alone lose money? And I said, if you actually listen to my entire video, there's actually a part in there that addressed the other people who lost their money. Usain Bolt himself addressed the other people who lost their money. Bolt basically said, I'm okay. I'm okay. But it shake me a little bit, but I'm okay. But I feel bad for the other people who lost most of their money, especially the elderly people. That's what he said. And he also went on to say that no matter what Aguan, Jamaica is still his place, still his country, and he'll still continue to big it up and these things. So if you listen to the whole video, you would have heard all that. Now, is the FBI helping with the SSL fraud case? I saw a couple of people leave comments yesterday under the video and said, no, SouFLo, they lied. The FBI is not involved and all that. See, me as a person like this, I like to get my story straight and I like to deal with facts. And it's important to read and not just listen to what people tell you, say, right? So I went into the print and I found the proper information, and we're going to answer that question this morning. Not only that, but give you some updated information because people still want to know where the money is at and who else has been caught with their hand in the cookie jar. Remember, the lady, she alone said it was her that stole over 40 plus people's money, or about 40 people's money, 40 different accounts. But it wasn't, none of them was Usain Bolt's, even though the CEO of the company, well, ex-CEO now, he said at the time, and he's getting information from reliable source within the company, that she is actually the only person that Usain Bolt's team would deal with, and that is probably why they never heard of him having his account at the firm. Okay, we're gonna get into all that FBI involvement and all these things. Then the Mattew Hyde update. Matthew Hyde is the young man who allegedly locked his girlfriend in the room, in his room on campus at the University of the West Indies. Can you research HR 25 Fair Tax Act and explain it to me, please? Let me write that down. This is Rojani. Rojani says, can you research HR 25 Fair Tax Act and explain it to me, please? I'll be able to do that, Rajani, but not on this video. I'll probably be able to do it on another video later on. I wrote it down, so I will remember it. Right, so I'll remember it. All right. Big up on yourself and to all those coming in late. I don't know what happened this morning. Maybe they're not expecting us to be on so early, or maybe YouTube sometimes does not send out the notifications until later, like halfway through the show. But I'll go on regardless because people are going to watch it later anyways. So we'll talk about who does marriage benefit more, man or woman. Get ready for that conversation. I said don't be triggered. If you're triggered easily, or you're one of those kind of persons that are crazily defensive or whatever, that's probably not the conversation for you. Stir up your feathers early in the morning. Is the FBI helping with the SSL fraud case? And we're going to get into all that. And Mattew Hyde. Mattew Hyde is the young man who locked his significant other or girlfriend, now ex-girlfriend, in his hotel room and burnt her up all over her body with the clothes ironing. And it is said that, well, not said nothing. I told you I was going to give you an update. I needed to do my own research. People were pointing me in directions, but we didn't need to find out for myself who is he linked to, because they were like hiding his identity. And it's only one news media outlet out of Jamaica that's not even a popular news media outlet that revealed his identity. And then people started saying, wait, no so and so son that. Yo, them people have money. I want him name that. So, you know what we did say about that already. Once I saw the crime described and then I didn't see a face, the first thing I thought to myself was, are some rich people picking, probably white or of mixed persuasion, look more like possible on the other side kind of person. That's why they're not putting his identity. And I went searching and I was damn right. It was exactly that. Just that tells you about the psyche of the people in Jamaica that run the news media and the people on a whole, like all together, right? Bleaching the ton up of Jamaica for no reason. I'm not talking about bleach out your skin because you're dark and you want to be lighter, then you want to be extremely light, and then hide your real hair and put on perm it out and all these things. It's a mental thing, and it's a thing that follows us through. We can go way back from when time them used to beat you if you hate yourself and make you hate yourself, and then now you hate yourself and you start teach others to hate themselves, and them all them kind of something there. We are go back. I hate using the word slavery, but it's a part of our history, and the ramifications of it we still feel to this day. So, and it still affects us to this day on many different levels. So, we have to talk about it. Then, of course, there's an article called Who is the Daddy? Which Who is the Daddy should also be a very interesting conversation this morning. More women are requesting paternity tests, new studies show. This is out of Jamaica. More women are requesting paternity tests. Don't jump your guns yet. It's not for the reason why you might think it is right now. So we're going to talk about all those. Big up some people this morning, and then we get into the chat. Pussy Galore is in the building this morning. Changed to Pussy Galore. Thank you for being here. She says, where is everyone? I don't know if them still asleep or they didn't get notification. Karen Notice is here. Unstoppable. Elizabeth Wilson is here this morning. BM. Audrey Wright. Mr. Article done. Big up yourself. Guava 876. Thank you for being here. Donna Davis is in the building this morning. Thank you for being here as well. Karen Notice is here. Giffo Jess. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Jane Ander is here, and Sean Cassell, Juno Bryan, and Seymour. And we're going to keep on going with the show. So let's start out with what do y'all want to start out with? I want to start out with, is the FBI involved with the SSL fraud case? Or y'all want to start out with, who does marriage benefit more? Or you want to start out with the Mattew Hyde update? or who is the daddy? You have 60 seconds to choose. I'm going to sip tea twice. That should take us through 60 seconds. Audrey Wright says SSL. She's the only one. I don't think. All right. One more person says update, which is Mattew Hyde update. All right. And the next person says, That's it. Nobody else now answer. No participation. When me I go school, teacher used to beat you for participating. You had to participate. So you can't just sit in the class and don't say nothing. Right? Teacher said 14 plus 17. All hands better up. Or them call on you with your hands not up. Start anyone. BM says start anyone. Update Matthew Hyde. Update Matthew Hyde. Update. Start anyone. Matthew morning. Matthew Hyde. Sean Cassell says. Okay. We have 15 seconds left. Matthew Hyde again it is. All right. Matthew Hyde. Let's see. All right. Cats Money, thank you for being here. Vicky Victory, thank you for being here. I know people will come. It's just that time of the morning where, it's Monday morning. Everybody up on a late one this morning. All right. I said I wasn't going to show you all this, but apparently I have to show you. So here's a picture of, and these are not too grotesque, so I can actually show these. I don't know if y'all have seen them. Another YouTuber has them up. So this is how he did the girl, right? And these are just some. You can see the iron mark on her cheek right there. You can see another iron mark in the center of her chest right there where the red arrow is pointing. You can see iron marks on both her booty cheeks. There are iron marks in between her legs. There's an iron mark in the center of her back. Wanna see that? This is the madness that this young man did. See him there? That's him over there. This is some of what he did to this young lady. All right. I don't know if y'all saw the video. There's a video out there. I can't tell. Somebody sent it to me. I can't tell if the video is actually her, but it's a video of a young lady, filling up her mouth with a man things, if you know what I mean. And it is said that that is her in the video, and she was his girlfriend at the time, and the video got to him. So them basically them catch your girl, give her shine as to somebody that wasn't you. It get back to our man. I don't know, man. Young people are crazy these days. Like them put everything on video, and you have your little crazy boyfriend. I don't know if she knew that he was that crazy, but you have your little crazy boyfriend, and you got break him like a heart. And go see that the video there. A lot of men can remember like your first little heartbreak when your little girlfriend did go kiss somebody else or something. This probably what turned you into a savage before you even get disrespect by any big woman or nothing like that. So I can only imagine, right? And him being of the upper crust or considered of the upper crust, and probably was like highly embarrassed or whatever. Like I said, I'm not sure 100%. This is not like the R. Kelly video. When we did see the R. Kelly video, I was like, that's R. Kelly. There's no way you can tell me that's not R. Kelly. And then R. Kelly proceeds to unzip and piss on the little girl. And I was like, holy damn, what the hell am I watching? This video, I can't really tell says her. Those of you who've seen the video, you me no know. Uno say a she, and this boy will most likely grow up to be a serial killer. Him and her was separated. No, that's what I'm hearing. That's I heard that him and her was separated after the incident, after she burned up, after the iron thing, because that's the reason why he did her like that, was because she was still considered his girl. They were still considered an item. And he found out at the time that the video was, listen, I said this before, right? When somebody, if me catch a man, girl, if I'm that kind of guy and I'm living that kind of life, it's all for stripes. It's all for stripes. So I don't know how some woman make themselves feel like say he wants me more than SouFlo does, even though SouFlo I'm a man, but me I give it to Johnny cause Johnny handle it more passionately and do it this and that and the other. Johnny already knows that SouFlo are your man. Johnny know why you like that, my girl. Johnny want do you some things when can go brag and laugh about SouFlo with it too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm splash it on her face and sit and look on the boy SouFlo and kiss up her face. Yo, dog, and that's some beat off me last night, you know, and them thing there. It's all for bragging rights. And when a man find out them kind of thing there, it's pretty embarrassing. I don't know how he found out, but there's information that I'm about to give to you that might tell you how he found out. And everybody where your friend are your friend. You see what I'm saying? And sometimes a girl might want the man where you have. And so she knows say yeah do things. So she'll make sure she does document and does pass the information on to your man. Cause once him left you, then she can probably get him. That kind of thing. So that's daddy right there. This is the icon for the video you're watching this morning. And that is his dad and that is he. That is he with his dad. See? Wanna pay attention right there? All right. We're gonna get into the info now. All right. Johnny tongue stiffer. Vicky Victor said Johnny tongue stiffer. Hey, Johnny tongue stiffer and back stronger. Whatever the case may be, him have more stamina. Just know so when you go over there, Johnny no have no good intentions for you. Johnny not even respect you, cause Johnny I say, boy, you will do the same thing to me, so I damage goods this summer. I gotta just damage it more. The worst I can damage it. Mm. All right, BM. Be careful out there. Pay attention to your surroundings. No bail. So for Hyde, it's no bail for the university student. So he was arrested. He's been locked up, and there's no bail for him. Matthew Hyde, the male student who is alleged to have tortured his ex girlfriend in his dorm room at the University of the West Indies, was on Thursday remanded in custody after his lawyer decided not to apply for bail on his behalf. This is Peter Champagny. Peter Champagny, the first thing he normally does is file habeas corpus, and which habeas corpus in the law says you either charge my client for something or let him go. And you have a limited amount of time within the law to do that. And he's done that for pretty much every client he's had that got locked up. So just that speaks volumes that he would go there to court, hear Wagwan, and decide not to file to apply for bail on his client's behalf. That tells you a lot already, right? Uh, Hyde is charged with assault occasioning grievous bodily harm, use of malicious communication, assault occasioning actual bodily harm, and false imprisonment. False imprisonment could lead to a kidnapping charge, but they don't treat kidnapping the same in Jamaica as they do in the US. Now, dressed in a blue button shirt and a button down shirt and black pants, Hyde stood in the prisoner's dock in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court while his attorney, Peter Champagny, addressed Senior Parish Judge Laurie Ann Cole Montague. Champagny told the judge that he did not intend to change the status of his client, who is currently in custody, and he also asked for an adjournment in the matter. The matter was adjourned until March 9th. Hyde was ordered to be fingerprinted. One of the funny things about Jamaica law is this. So in the US, right, as soon as you're arrested, that's one of the first things they're going to do with you. They're going to run you through the system. They're going to fingerprint you, period. They have to actually go through a series of stuff in order to even get to fingerprinted. So a lot of people get picked up, ran through the process, and there is no biometrics that's taken and stored in the system on them. That's backwards as hell, but that's how it goes in Jamaica. I remember going through the Klansman one down case, and I heard one of them said, one of the attorneys said, somebody asked one of the attorneys, well, how come they don't have their fingerprints if they've been in so many times? And the person said, well, the order was not given for them to be fingerprinted. One of the police officers said the order was not given for them to be fingerprinted. And I thought that was weird because once you're picked up, arrested, you're supposed to be biometrics collected to include fingerprint and whatever else them can get, right? A picture stored in the system of you the last time you were taken into custody and your fingerprint and all that. Not in Jamaica. So now he's ordered to be fingerprinted, which means he is now in the system and he will be sitting there until March 9th. Now, what I found out, and even though some others had said it before, but me like to verify information for myself, and searching to find out who his daddy is, I actually ended up starting watching this series. And now, and now I'm hooked on the damn series. See? So Matthew Hyde, I call him the Huey torturer. Matthew Hyde, Adam Hyde, who is an actor in Royal Palm Estates. You can go to YouTube and you can look up Royal Palm Estates. And Royal Palm Estates is basically a Jamaica television drama. He plays Richard Blackburn in Royal Palm Estates. But that's a part of who he is because he is also a very successful businessman, right? And he is the managing director of Pear Tree Press Limited. Now, shout out to Kaitai Jai Empress. Pear Tree Press Limited is, they've done big printout rollouts in all of the big news medias in Jamaica already. So here's one of them. They're instrumental in bringing the whole 3D printing thing to Jamaica, right? And when I say printing, don't just think about your little print shop that print dancehall flyers. These people are involved in printing on a whole nother level. Understand? Anything we have to do with printing, them handle that. And we're not just talking about flyers and posters printed. That's minor compared to what they do, right? It's a very successful business as well. So it's now possible to print your food, some body parts, and even weaponry as inventors test the limits of 3D printing technology. This is Adam Hyde, Managing Director of Pear Tree Press Limited, right? And this is an article that he did not too long ago with the Jamaica Gleaner. And there he is, right there. See? Now, if you go and look up Pear Tree Press Limited, it's not no little corner shop business. It's an establishment. It's a pretty fancy establishment. You understand? The concept has now reached Jamaica, courtesy of Pear Tree Press Limited. They brought that concept to Jamaica, the 3D printing stock technology. The concept has now reached Jamaica, courtesy of Pear Tree Press Limited, which has been opening its own small desktop 3D printing since last year, though it is yet to generate any firm orders. At least one of our other Jamaican companies considering investing in the fast developing technology. 3D printing can be used to produce a variety of range of objects, from the replication of human body parts to the creation of car parts and even a working gun. Earlier this month, it is reported that a man in Britain successfully had his facial features reconstructed with the use of the 3D printing thing and gave far better results than could have ever been gotten otherwise. Scientists are now said to produce kidneys, ears, even blood vessels using the 3D printing technology. An American man, Cody Wilson, successfully printed and tested and fired a plastic gun from the same 3D printing technology. The FBI is said to have tried but failed to replicate the 3D printing technology. And it's now possible to print edible Oreo cookies, chocolate, pizza, and other foods, some of which may not yet be edible. The technology, you know them kind of, I don't know if you ever go to your grandmother's house and she used to have like the apple and the orange and the all them fruits there in the basket. But the fruits them in the basket, they look shiny and they look real and they've been there for years. But in the middle of the dinner table, but they're not real. I guess it's that kind of stuff they're talking about because it can't be nothing else. I can't see how you can print food. That means I wouldn't have to pay for groceries no more. Cause I mean, I just go buy my 3D technology, grocery shop one time, and just print off everything. So every every week now, instead of going to the grocery store, we just reprint everything. I'm safe. Uh, but I'm pretty sure that's not what it is. It says that most of the food is not edible right now, anyways, but you can replicate them. And it's now possible to print edible Oreo cookies, chocolate pizza, and other foods. Yeah, but most of the other foods may not be edible. So I don't know. We might have to invest in this. We might have to survive on Oreo cookies and chocolate and pizza. I try, save some money. The technology itself is not new. It's been around since 1984 when Charles Chuck Hull invented it for the use of digital data to create real 3D objects. Since then, development has brought down the cost of the machines so that the simple model can now cost as little as 1,200 US dollars, though prices can go up to upwards of 1 million Jamaican dollars or more, depending on what machine you want, the size of what machine you want. So they invested in one of those machines and brought it to Jamaica along with the knowledge of how to actually work it, right? That's who his daddy is. So just so you know, I don't know. I don't know if that necessarily puts them at the top of the food chain. Like, I don't know if that necessarily makes them. Cause people are saying, "Are rich people pick me?" I'm trying. I'm thinking like it's like Andrew Holness' son or somebody who is high up there. The guy was an actor, and he was an actor on some television drama that was popular back from 19 how long, right? And then he might have did some other things. I saw another article where he was in the Gleaner again, talking about climbing Mount Kilimanjaro, and he was reaching 40 at the time, and he's having an epiphany and all these other stuff, and taking life in a different direction, more off screen, and getting involved in other things. This might not be all that he is involved in. Who knows? So I don't know the rest of him business. I don't know what he's invested in, what he's involved in, where his money comes from. I don't know where the house look like. If them live in one of them big sprawling house that's on top of the hill, when you drive through Portmore and you look up up at top of the hill and you see them big rotted house there. I don't know if it's up there they live. I was told that is up there them living in one of them kind of house there and these kind of things, but me don't really know. So I'm not gonna make stuff up about them, right? But as far as we know for his son, him well bun up the girl, and they said it had to do with. Now the crazy thing is somebody said it earlier that she was actually his ex. Now if that's your ex, if me and a girl are ex and video surface of her doing that, I don't have nothing to do with her. Even if she was doing it while she was with me, I would just be like, yes, I'm glad we are exes, right? Cause that did I go on when we did that with her, and I'm glad I got away and it's over and it's done. I wouldn't go look for her. That's why that part of the story don't make no sense to me. Cause people want to make it seem like she was his ex and the video surfaced and he got mad and went and got her, put her in a room. If I'm ex, how she reach in a room? Very interesting. You lock up in your ex-man dorm room on campus and then can't come out. Makes no sense. And he's torturing you because you're ex. Makes no sense. I think I'm going with the version of the story that says, I am girl SouFlo, I know I'm ex. That was his girl. That was his girl up until the time him kidnap her, hold her in the room and bun her up. And then she became his ex. She was, doing extracurricular activities and it resurfaced. That's all that is. The Hydes in Jamaica are former slave owners. There's even a Hyde Great House that's in ruins now. Shout out to Kaita Jai Empress. Yes, I'm kind of leaning towards all that, but you know how me do my thing already. So you share that information, or I can say I was told or I've heard, right? But you can look on them and tell still, say, so How am I to say it now? The slave master blood run strong over there, so that's what I should say. More than, yeah. So they probably have some links and some properties and all these things. Y'all know that when slavery ended in Jamaica, so to speak, right? That the British gave land and money to those who owned properties and persons, and nothing was given to the people who were enslaved. Y'all know that, right? It was done also here in the US, the same thing. So just a little FYI for you, they got their money. So if they come from that cloth, then obviously there could be inherited finances there. Mommy dead, daddy dead. I mean, he's a big man. At some point, both your parents kick the bucket if you go that route in life, if you're not dead before them. So things they might have inherited from grandfather and grandmother passed down to mother and father, then passed down to him, which was supposed to then pass down to his son. That's all money that they keep. And if they're from that line, that cloth, then yeah, that's that for them. Jane, blessed love. 20 mil. 20 mil was what they were given, or an equivalent of 20 mil. It would be an equivalent of what 20 mil is today. That bro Shaka said. But yeah, when I found out about that, I was like, yo, wickedness increase. And then they ask why we don't pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, and they wonder the playing field is never level, and the playing field can't be leveled ever. At the end of all that atrocity for how many years that lasted, okay, we're gonna end this now. Everybody left with a severance package paid in cash and land. And those who were enslaved got nothing. Just go on off into the go try go find something to do with yourself, basically. And then of course they invented the police force, and then the military, and then gave them special instructions that some people should get kicked up and thump up and dragged into jail and all these other kind of things. Whole different kind of video we are up on. That's what I found out about him. We're moving right along. The show itself speaks to that, as the father, Ted Blackburn, the head of the estate, intermingled with women of darker skin tone, etc. Cat's Monet. I was just watching one episode this morning where there was a very shapely young lady, dark skin, that was in a bathing suit at the end of the pool, and there was two men at the other end, and she was instructing them to swim across to her, and them did a bargain. I don't know if you saw that episode. They were bargaining. So if me swim across, what am I going to get? And one of the man say a hug, and the next one say a kiss, and she was like, "Don't push your luck." And the two of them jump in at the pool to swim towards her, and one of them start drown because he can't really swim when he get to the water. Dark. It's pretty interesting. I'm gonna be watching more of it, so me talk more about it as I go along. It's obviously old though. I thought it was something new, and he was into some new money, but it's obviously old, and it has very little viewership too. Very little viewership. But hey, that's the story about him so far. Okay, Matthew Hyde, the male student, he's alleged to have tortured his ex-girlfriend in his dorm room at the University of the West Indies, was on Thursday remanded into custody after his lawyers decided not to apply for bail for him. That is very much unlike Mr. Peter Champagne. Patricia says why? If he committed murder or stole billions, he would probably be out. Who decides these things? Women? Can we talk too says absolutely no sympathy for any man who, if the woman you're dealing with or want to deal with tells you no, or if the two of you are already involved and she tells you that she wants out, geez me. This is the 21st century, and it is high time that men in general conduct themselves as men and not parade around with the caveman mentality. I don't say that all men behave so, but there are way too many that do. How many women are out there, Jesus Christ, where you, the man, can pick, choose, and refuse, and if one shorty tells you to get lost, diplomatically or not, then you just set your sights somewhere else. As it is, Mr. Hyde, who is fortunate enough to be attending university, go put himself into a problem. I'm relatively certain that the services of the high powered attorney, Mr. Peter Champagne, likely doesn't come cheaply. So, all of this hubbub with 4-year charges lodged against you and lockup to boot is because what? The woman in question that the university where you're attending to get an education decided to end the relationship with you? As it is, if you are found guilty, it is likely prison time. You would have a criminal record, and quite possibly, University of the West Indies would want to end their association with you as a student. So tell me, Mr. Hyde, in retrospect, was all of this confusion worth it? I like that writing right there. And that is in retrospect. That is a 20-year-old mind. That is when you're young, dumb, and full of. That is when your frontal lobe is not fully developed yet, but you think you are grown. That is when you act before thinking of the consequences. You know, so grown people think different. Grown people, yo, I mash up the girl. What kind of video this? Hey, you wait till me see her. Kick me, I kick out her teeth them. And then you start to think to yourself, you know what, SouFlo, it's better you go on because you see him one say, you know, like prison. You see you remember a prison video them where you this long a watch, right? Yeah, you did hear what the man saying there? Yeah, the part when him say, don't come in here because it's nothing but testosterone in here and we're in here fucking and fighting each other. Yeah, you know I'm going there, so no. All right, so me not bother kick out no teeth or nothing like that. Let's talk about my business. That's how grown people think. We hash it through. But you remember when you were younger, right? Hey, girl, what you said to me? Hey, boy, I was yo, me get kicked out of school. You know, quick story. I got kicked out of school, and my mom got me right back into school. So there I was in Miami, in my classroom, North Miami Junior High. This girl take it upon herself. You know, me have a sidebar with the story. Then this girl take it upon herself now to slap the daylights out of me. She slapped me at the front of the class. Bow! And I was so embarrassed when she slapped me that everybody in the class, the thing that embarrassed me was young and full of pride and ego. And when me hear the bow, she slapped me hard enough, loud enough, but me not even feel the slap. What I felt was, oh, from everybody else in there. Thump, 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 karate kick, foot, knee, grab, uppercut, uppercut, uppercut. I beat the girl down from the front of the classroom all the way to the back of the classroom. Kick her, thump her. Now, am I proud of it? It's nothing to be either proud or not proud of. It's something that happened, right? And it happened like in the blink. Just that, oh, I didn't stop to think. I just start violate. And then put me out of the school, of course. And then, my mother is, so what did he do? And they explained what he did. And y'all better let my son back in the school because he was defending himself. What gives her the right to, blah, blah, blah. And then put me in school and still put me in school suspension. So I had one big man named Coach Mac, who was also the football coach, that had me locked up in a one room all day for however long. I don't remember how long I was in school suspension for. And of course, one next fight now, cause this girl find out to me a Jamaican and she want me. And then for her man, a big man, she had got junior high with me, but her man, they are senior high school, and he was very popular. And me then that class there and see man I walk past. You know them doors that had the little glass in it? And him come at the glass and he was like, I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is my life in the US. But that's a whole nother story for a whole nother video. But yeah, beat up a girl, bad, bad. But didn't mean to do it. Like I wasn't planning to hurt a girl, and me and she never have nothing. But she take it up on herself, wet my face a big slap, and I just lost it. Yeah. So under this right here, What they're saying is she didn't want there with him no more and something, but the video surfaced and ah, let's go on to the next topic. But before I do, let me leave that one with a message. Young or old, grown or still growing. Me no know. Men, you really, really, really have to learn to walk away or run away. Control yourself. There's some women out there who will draw you out till you end up over there so, in prison with a bag of man. Some women will run. Some women won't even provoke you. Shout out to the women who don't even provoke and them still get rough up and beat up. Me not understand that how that happened. But I'm telling women that once you start pan a man, more than likely him I gonna start get defensive too, and then it's gonna be what we call that in the army, we call that we measuring dicks now. So that's gonna be a size off. Yeah, who got the bigger dick kind of thing. Kind of man don't want to go face to face with you like that, and then it's gonna turn out bad. But there are women out there who don't provoke nothing and them still get beat up by some nasty man. But there's some of you that really provoke some man. So them man there, when you get extra provoked, take for yourself, brother. That's the best thing you can do. Because it could end up really, really bad, really quickly. See? In this case, y'all seen the pictures. What me I try to figure out though is the kind of vengeance what that brother I have. Because me I watch the iron mark them. I'm watching the iron marks on her body, right? So yeah, burn her in the middle of her chest. Big old iron mark. You know that's not gonna go away, right? You know, years from now, if she say finds the love of her life, settles down, decides to get married, have children, when she goes to take her clothes off to make love to her husband is gonna, no matter which way him turn her, if him turn her front way, him gonna see the iron mark dead in her center her chest. If him turn her back way, him gonna see two iron mark on her two body jaw them and all over her back. No matter which way him turn her, when he open her legs, he's gonna see iron mark in between her legs. And I'm thinking, this youth calculatedly branded her in a certain way where that will carry over for life and it will affect her. I mean, I know if him put that much thought into it, like any man you give to your body after this, them have to go look upon this. When time them take off your clothes or something. Matt's tattoo, his name, Seymour. I'm trying to, I don't want to send nothing out the way, but may I try to think like, did he do this before? Because this is not something that you just, nobody, I'm telling you, nobody just gets up and just go ape shit violent like one day. There's a progression of things that happen. Something lead up to something will lead up to something, right? Now I'm thinking, did he do this before? Me I like to know which other little girl him did date before and hear them tell it, oh, he was very nice to me, or no, he used to choke me and he used to box me and tell me something not to tell nobody and he used to threaten me. And but you then come from uptown and through my family don't have much or nothing, you know, people me intimidated or something. Me need to hear from somebody who did date him before, cause that don't seem like no behavior that just comes out of nowhere. To lock somebody in a room, you know, walk you through this, you know. If you lock somebody in a room, forcibly keep them in the room, that means you must either be guarding the door or you must be telling her that if you run for the door, now burn you again. Or you know, think me I gonna burn you. Reach over here so I'm plug you in the iron. Wait till the iron heat up. And she's probably there begging, like, you serious? Like, Matt, let me go. Let me go. Oh, so you think me a player? Or you think I'm playing? When she get the first burn that she's like, oh shit, this is real. Is him really a bun me up in here? Then you can imagine the panic that starts and look at how many more burns came after the first burn, and they're all well placed in the center of our chest. Look on our back, on our two body jaw them, in between our leg them. It, I don't know what happened to that young man that day, but I don't think that was a one-time thing, if you know what I mean. Uh, uh, you know who him remind me of? There's a show that's on that I've been watching. I can't remember the name of the show, but it has a black woman and a white man playing the couple, the president and the first lady, and they're devious as hell. And they have a son, and the son devious as hell. And them send with the daughter. I don't. If y'all know what the show name is, please tell me. But the Oval. Thank you, Kaitai Jai. The Oval. The Oval. He reminds me of the son from the Oval. You know, so I don't know. I don't know. So Kaz Robinson says, SouFLo, this is learned behavior, and I wonder if he has seen someone do this before. Father, maybe. I'm not gonna say that. Cause I don't want the man go monkey bananas for me. I'm not gonna say that, but this or you know, hey, listen, the internet is a serious thing. So nowadays, when we are talking about, I wonder if he saw his mom did this or his dad did that. Listen, there's everything on the internet. Stuff that you, as a grown person, probably have never seen before. Your child probably saw already. You hear what I'm saying? If you've never sat and watched a woman head get cut off by a man, or a person get shot in the face close up, or some traumatizing something where you don't have no interest to even see it, your children, they have full access to it. And see them here? Damn. Watch it again. So you can imagine what that's doing to their mind, right? You can imagine what that's doing to their psyche, right? So it don't have to be like mom or dad, them see. Children are cuss now. Doesn't have to be mom or dad they heard cursing. Um, Devious behaviors come from children being overly sexual, or carrying on with pornography type of behavior. Doesn't have to be anything that is in their immediate surroundings. If they have a smartphone in 2022, 2023, they are in full view of everything, and your grown ass self would probably cringe at half of the stuff that they're sitting there watching. So remember that too, right? Um, I'm still saying that he's not going to do no big time. I'm surprised they have him locked up this long. I still say I'm not going to do no big time. Crime like that deserves many years in prison. And if he was here in the US, he would get a lot of years for that. But this is Jamaica. I highly doubt he will get 5 years, 4 years. I'm dwindling it down to two, right? I'm dwindling it down to two. The maga said time served, something, and house confinement and all these other things because he's too vulnerable and too young to go behind bars with these hardened criminals, and he has no prior. I saw them do it in Jamaica. Worse if your parents have a little bit of money and some status or recognition, and them high yellow, our skin look a certain kind of way, hair texture is a certain kind of way. All these kind of treatments and privileges come along with that. So I don't look forward to him doing no long time, because he's definitely not going to get no long time. Quote me again when that time comes and see if I was wrong. Sean Cassell says he might get 0 years. Marvin the Point Jamaica Curse says Seymour stop horsing around in the class. I will Seymour I do. Dorothy T says wouldn't be surprised if she developed issues with dating men moving forward. Yeah, that too. That too. I heard a young lady said she's gay, and she's openly gay now, and she said it's because she was raped multiple times while she was growing up in Jamaica. I'm actually talking about the famous singer. Uh, Somebody's gonna say her name right now. Diana King. Is it Diana King? But yeah, and these things happen. Diana King, Bro Shaka. These things happen. You know, it was surprised to see the amount of Jamaicans that actually cuss her when she said it. So she did a interview, and she said in Jamaica, she said in Jamaica, killers, murderers, and child molesters are more respected and more celebrated and protected than a grown person that is of the LGBTQ community. And a bag of Jamaicans fly down upon the interview. We covered this a couple of years ago in extent when she did it. A bag of Jamaicans fly down upon the interview that, hey, big so pussy girl, come talk all Jamaica out of your thinking fish up mouth. When Jamaicans ready for cussing, some hella cussing you get, all up in our part, run our place so you never hear about before you get sent and all these things. And they sure did it to her. They wiped that comment section. Pure Jamaicans in it. And the comment wasn't the interview, I don't think was even done in Jamaica. I know it was printed in the US press. Watch a gala. I do it to get green card and all these kind of things. It went further. I took my time and I read through word for word the interview. When she described the first time she got raped and how she felt, and then had nobody to complain to, and she tried complain or tell the adults that were around her, and then the second time it happened, and then the third time I said, no, Ross, man. So she said when she got older and it came time for her to date, she found within herself that she liked a boy, but she couldn't go no further with the boy because these anxieties, she didn't understand what it was, but these anxieties that would build up, that would cause her to not have any kind of feelings towards the man or the boy that she was trying to date. So she started developing some harboring these types of feelings for females instead, right? She's like, I'm human and I need affection. I want love. My ideal thing would have been, but I was damaged by so early, and people actually try to dismiss that. Like that's somebody's truth, my friend. You can't dismiss that. You want to rape the girl into gayness. You can't dismiss that. That's somebody's life they're talking about. It's not your experience. And the people that sit on their high horse, they were over there like, so man rape you make you gay. That means that you did gay from man. So why you never go to choose one next man? Or why you not choose one different race of man? Or why you not choose one? So she have to choose something now to satisfy you. Man is man. And when time any man pull down him pants, is a teal go drop out of it. See? Different various sizes and all these other things according to the ladies them. You don't know that part they go. Say that fast like one of them late night commercial there. But man is man, and she probably don't want to see that part there. Because it was the part that violated her when she wasn't even ready for it and didn't have a choice in the matter. See? Yes, BM, who feels it knows it. Exactly. Exactly. Who feels it knows it. People will always pass their, them opinions and whatnot, especially once your story reach out in the public. It's a public story now, so everybody have something to say. But yeah, Kai Tai Jai. Look at how they came at Lila Ike. But Lila Ike now, how much to say? When it was happening with Lila Ike, it seemed like that's what it was, but did you see how it ended? It's like, no, I'm not really that way. I actually like guys. Um, I was going through a mental break and psychotic phase type things, too much marijuana smoking and not enough rest. And, she never understand that she was bipolar, not diagnosed yet, but dealing with, and she was self-medicating to deal with these things that she was feeling. When she went away and got some help, she came back labeled or diagnosed officially as bipolar. So she have these swings, right? I said to myself, say, boy, if I saw. But or is that still just them sitting down and saying, okay, damage control, listen, I know you want, but because of the music that you do, you can't. Okay, no matter how, because yeah, the world are gonna receive you, but it's still gonna be a backlash. That's a big backlash. I'll come from. So you have to continue. I hope that if that is who she is, because she talked extensively about men that have hurt her, and men that have hurt her grandmother, and men that have hurt her mother, and then men that have hurt her. And she's lived through this to see all this hurt from men by men to these women, and then the same kind of thing again and stuff. So me don't know how that partner just disappear. Or was that a part of the manic phase too, where she was just rambling and saying stuff? Or is this me don't know. I'm not trying to figure it out anymore. She's obviously moved on from it, and she's out there doing big shows. I was actually watching one of her shows yesterday. She stepped off of a sprinter, some show they had in California, and she got there and rocked the crowd like Leela does. She bad like that. Well lyrical and thing, and well good pan stage. Me not hear she a sing about sex, so me not really pray her like that. Like, oh, she a say a man she love, but she do with girl, and I don't really care. I don't really care. But I hope for her sake and her own mental space, I hope that if that is what she really is, then she just be true to herself. Cause the bag of hiding thing and living as others want you to live kind of thing, it's it's a rough road for go down. You can't imagine living your whole life like how other people wanted you to live it. And then in your last moments of life, what would you say to yourself before you check out of here? Damn, I did everything everybody else wanted me to do. I became everything everybody else wanted me to be. My songs never got played. I'm dying with my music inside of me. I'm dying with my artwork inside of me. I'm dying with my true self inside of me. I denied myself the right to be myself my entire life because I wanted to be or please others. Me not go out like that. I'm not going out like that. That's what one day somebody said, "Yeah, SouFLo, you big Batman." I hear me now. I said, "I dead and serious." Me say, "Yo, if I was a Batman, trust me, you would have known because there would be nobody more flamboyant and out and happy than me." You see it? A woman, me think that I'm a good there, so, but I'm not because you think about the mental strain, right? Of trying to please everybody else and trying to be what everybody else wants you to be your entire life. And then when you go lock yourself in your own room, in your own house or whatever, you're like, okay, man, I have to strip off these layers. Now I could be me. But damn, tomorrow morning when I go out that door again, I gotta put these layers back on. I gotta remember who to be again. And no, Sam, I couldn't do all that. I would be twining and twining like nobody business. You would just have to look for me and be like, yo, the big bad boy vlogger from Jamaica with him SouFLo. Yeah, that boy they say. That's what you would have to just say, because I would be out here doing all kinds of shit. Fingernail done, me just extra with my thing. Cause me done extra already sometime, but you couldn't get me from big nothing else than that. See it? So nobody waste of time. I thought, oh, big bad boy SouFLo. Me no say I hide and hide. One thing me not do in a life is hide. Because when it's all said and done, every last one of us are checking in to that one room in the ground, unless you choose cremation, right? And we're all going that way, which means in time to come, in years to come, nobody now gonna remember we. Your children might, if you have any, or your family members might speak of you every now and then. Or if you bury around a back, that's around a back of the house, down which part grandma them bury, somebody might come pour like a rump on your grave when them flying from foreign. I say, some remember him. Your man, you want good cousin or you want good brother or whatever, but not about it. That's the end of you, my friend. So live your life to the fullest, being you. You see some man married all 20 years, four picnic, all these things, reach up in them 40s and 50s, and suddenly them start cross dress. And then suddenly them I need to have a talk with my wife. And then what am I talk with the wife say? I tell the wife say, you know, this is a real case by the way. And I'm not talking about the Jenner case. This is a real case. The man when him sit down for telling wife say he's actually into men. You know when wife of 20 something years say, she said, I already knew. All these years I already knew. And then she do her own interview and she said, I thank him for the years he gave me as a husband. Now, I'm are you gonna leave him? She said, no. We just gonna be two girls together. I got a best friend. Me said, me bum, me granny. So now them dress up together. Them go get hair and nails done together and go shopping together. Big tough man in her woman clothes and all these things. And she's still right there. And they were asking the kids, how you feel? Because their son is away at college and them daughter big and grown and stuff. So when they're like, when you come back home, how do you feel? Because you don't come back home anymore to dad and mom. You come back home to mom and mom. You know, one of the kids was like, well, it's kind of strange, but I mean, we're getting used to it. And as long as my dad's happy, not one of the picked them say, this some weird shit. And and just for that, when Christmas came, I went to my friend's house. I didn't even come home. None I picked them and said that. The whole of them was like, hey, as long as my daddy is happy, I'm happy. All this. That's not Bruce Jenner story me I tell about me. I tell us you have people out there, more of them than you think, that's living this kind of life. Yeah. Don't do a whole different life already and decide to switch and said, this is my true self. I've been hiding it all these years. I gave you this many years. So now I want to live the rest of my life being myself without dying and never being me. And him wife said, I knew all along. Well, now I got a girlfriend. Now I got a bestie. No, and they're still together. They're still together. Now picture my wife now said, woman, me thing there. Here what? Leave my kids with me and deuces. Go do you. Go have fun. Go explore that new part of you that you found and all that. Meet the right that's already picking them and all that. You could stop in whenever you feel like it, check on the babies, keep FaceTime with them and all these other things. But me not gonna go down that road there with you. Sorry. Cause I know that me did cut out for. And that was never in the plans. You know? Life full of life full of surprises, you know. And you have to be ready to either roll with the punches. Now, if you look at that, let me just tell you, she must really, really check for that person. She must really check for that person. You know, some people say, I love you unconditionally. Yeah, I love you unconditionally till you do something that I don't like. Then I don't love you no more. Sorry, I have to go. No, I love you unconditionally. No matter what you become, no matter where you end up in life, no matter wherever, I will always have this kind of love for you unconditionally. Not the love where, yeah, I love you, but I'm gonna have to love you from a distance. I don't really love that still, but you know, that get people to feel good and get by. When she did take her wedding vows, she took them seriously in sickness and in health, in rich and poor, in wherever the else and the else is until death do us part. She just look at it like this is another obstacle that we're going to have to navigate. But I'm not leaving you. You my life partner. And you probably still have the little fire stick that was she used to already. And you know. So she was like, as long as that part still work, John, you can do whatever you want to do. We'll share shoes. We wear the same size and heels anyways. I've seen how you were looking at my pink dress. You can have it. We'll just be sharing stuff. What works for some people work for them. Mrs. Nia, me in a Richmond before Chesterfield and Henrico. Kaitaja Empress. The pickle. As long as the pickle still at work. It's typical. She's known for 20 something years. See, she's been faithful to that pick up for how long? So don't change nothing now. I guess she have to go close her eye and imagine the old John, not the new John. Or it might be an excitement. Me don't know. Dorothy T said, me don't know about that. Don't know about that neither. Here one. Let's flow right into this one. Who does marriage benefit more? Let's flow right into that one. Who does marriage benefit more? Lulu Ridges said eggplant. Does marriage benefit women more? Does marriage benefit men more? This is the part of the show when we say if you're easily triggered, if you have some kind of something that go on with yourself, this is gonna blow your top, then you might want to cut. I'm gonna play devil's advocate, so I'm gonna be on both sides of the fence. And when I do that, I normally trigger some feelings in some people and make them feel like they want to mash up the place or something. So, who does marriage benefit more, men or women? Hmm. I'm watching a video the other day, and here's a woman. She said she's in her 50s, right? I think the woman was like 57 or 54 or something like that. And she said, me dating right now is not dating just to date. I can't date just to date at this age. If you find me good enough to date, then I'll give you a short time before you got to put a ring on it. And put a ring on it, I mean walk down the aisle, marry me, because I'm not playing any games with anybody at this time. And she had never been married before. So it's not like a woman where didn't marry before and faithful to a good man and lose our marriage or even pass away or something. You 50 something years old and you ain't never been married before. No man ever thought you were good enough to marry till you're 50 something and you're demanding that whoever tries to date you at 50 something was must marry you. But the part that got me, what she said, she's dating somebody right now, right? And she said she gave him a date. She gave him a date when he got to put a ring on it, and he did, and he married her. And she said the next step was to get her name on everything. No, no, watch this. She said the next step was to get her name on everything. He better put her on his life insurance policy as beneficiary. And better put her. She's on the house. She's on the. If him own any properties, she's on it. She's on this. She's on that. She's on all the vehicles. She's on everything. Have our name on it too, right? As co-owner and stuff. Um, I would be scared. I would be scared if I was a man to meet you. Me not reach them age yet, but to meet you at that stage of life, and you just want you never been married before. Nobody ever thought you good enough to marry you before, and then now you yourself couldn't find nobody out there in a God good world that was good enough to marry. So whether it was them didn't want to marry or you didn't want to marry, either way you take it. You've never done that before. And you in at this late stage of ages in life want a man who are gonna put you upon everything. Marry me. Come on, do it now. Short order. Right? I feel rushed. Like, yep, okay, you got some coochie, you ain't getting no more till you put a ring on it. Marry me. And you like, you feel like y'all rush through the thing. Okay, now put me on everything. I gotta be on everything. I gotta be on the beneficiary to your life insurance policy. I'm gonna be like, this bitch trying to kill me. She trying to kill me early so she can spend the money with one next month. She trying to kill me. Me nah do that. But hear what the lady said. She said, yeah, cause I'm not playing with them. Next thing I waste my time taking care of you because you know a lot of us gonna get sick when we get older. So next thing he gets sick and I gotta waste my money and my resources taking care of you, and then you die and leave me with nothing, and then all his children come and inherit all the stuff that he has, and I get nothing. And I'm like, so there was another man that said these women will plan their retirement off you. Men, listen up. He said these women will plan, he's on IG. He said these women will plan their retirement off of you, my friend. And she will marry you, and she will force you to marry her. Put a ring on it. You have until this long, because I'm not dating nobody forever without, you know what I'm saying? I'm moving on. If you can't put a ring on it by this time, I'm moving on. Force you to do it, right? So you, if I'm good enough to this, I'm good enough for that. Okay. 5 years. After 5 years of marriage in most states, this is what he said. And I actually didn't really go look it up. But after 5 years of marriage in most states, she is guaranteed alimony. Alimony is a separate payment that will come. If we don't have children together, there will be child support to be paid, then there will be alimony to be paid. So he was explaining and he was like, listen, if you meet these women in their later years and they're pressuring you, and come on, let's get married, and you got to marry me and put a ring on it quick and this and that. I'm good enough to this, I'm not good enough to that. He was like, be very careful, because a lot of them, they don't even like you, but they'll stick out 5 years of marriage so they get that alimony locked in. They'll give you a child or two so they get that child support locked in. This is her planning her finances for when she leaves you. Whatever properties you attain during marriage, this is for the man them. Whatever properties you attain during marriage, regardless if there is a prenup or not, those properties are considered marital properties, which means in a split, those properties are gonna be up for who gets this versus who gets that, right? Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Good morning.
You ready for this topic, yeah? You don't reach a part of life, eh?
Listen, we just run come call because
Mm.
I want to tell you.
Tell me no man, me want to hear it.
You get me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Yeah. I had an uncle.
Mm-hmm.
I remember a few years back I went to his wedding. And my auntie on her way there,
Mm-hmm.
big beautiful wedding I was having. She was telling me the story.
Big beautiful wedding.
And he was young, in early 30s,
Mm-hmm.
and his wife too. And he was accomplished. He was a manager at Jamaica National Bank.
Mm-hmm.
And him having money, him go to university, very well accomplished by that time. He met his wife in college, and she pretty and everything, she brown and she look good and everything. So he not tried. Him tried and him like her and everything, and she wanted to get married really kind of quick because they weren't even together for that
He
long.
wanted to get
He
married.
knew her for some time,
Wait, who wanted
but
to get married quick? Him or she?
she wanted to get married to him.
Okay.
They're Catholic, so you know them are gonna take them time and do little formality. She didn't want kind of rush something.
Same.
So when they had their first child, they had one in 2015 and then another one a bit after they got married. And after the first child, and they weren't even that close together, she wanted to rush and get married.
Mm-hmm.
Because between the time she got pregnant and the time that they got married was really close. Like she got pregnant like a few months before they got married with the second child. So they got married, everything was nice and fine and dandy. And the woman who went down the man in this marriage, she can't cook, she don't clean, she don't wash. When she was pregnant, she have to, she can't manage certain stuff. But I tell you, when the woman don't get pregnant and she's supposed to be working. I mean, it's been over like 4 years now. She hasn't worked. She don't get no job. She don't go anywhere.
Wait, them still married?
They're still married.
Well, shouldn't, is he complaining?
Yes.
Or am I
I mean,
complaining?
she doesn't do anything. When I'm telling you, she doesn't do anything. Pretend you have your wife Sophie.
Mm-hmm.
You're married to her. When you meet her, she nice and everything, and she do everything for you. When you married her for the next X amount of years, she don't get up out of the couch. You take her putting them like a you are the only person in her marriage.
You must have do
Him, he
everything.
didn't put them. At night time, was putting a ball, him ready to put them. Him got kids to school despite the fact that he is a high level person in his bank.
Mm-hmm.
And the bank, my bank work, I know. The
No
man,
Lulu
the bank
Ridges.
never
Nobody
office.
tell the man about come out of people business because see, I that no do. You hear when I talk, right? And because it make the woman look bad, there's gonna be women flying in right now. Come out of people business, left it alone.
Let them
But
fly
but
in
but if it
because
was the other way
I
around and he was saying after she married the boy, him just lay down in a couch, him not do nothing. She have to do everything. You would have see the amount of dash him out,
exactly.
fling him where a
And
germs
guess
that.
what?
Come on now.
When they were getting married, there was a bunch of little red flag.
Mm-hmm.
She had a bad relationship with her family, and they themselves didn't like her behavior, and they felt as though the marriage was rushed and didn't like the fact that they didn't feel like she was right fit for him, and they must kind of feared for him.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody never really talked too loud at the marriage, at the wedding. But I knew that for him, I'd be kind of feel like about it. Everybody kind of off about it, but just let it happen. And now she don't like him will do everything at the house. He has to go to work. He has to manage meetings afterwards. The man meet with minister. The man have to take care and pick them, take them to school, and him change them, and him bed. And she just sit down for the whole day nothing. He had to force her to get up
So
and go
now,
find a job.
now he's in a very realistic place that a lot of men end up. And you know what that is? That realistic place is him frigged around and had children with her. So now it's like, in order for me to split from this person, I'm gonna be leaving my kids behind. Now he's in a place where it's like him probably can't change who she has become or who she's choosing to be now. Not that she's gonna be that person forever, but the question is, how long do you give somebody to change? You know, I'm a firm believer that when children are involved, that you stick it out as long as you can for the sake of the children. And I've talked about that before, where people say, picnic now, old man again, don't stay together because of the picnic. And I can't think of a more valuable reason to actually make a relationship work and to endure some suffering than your children because it's their benefit. You know what I mean? As long as you don't like
Yeah,
mash up the whole house in front of the two picnic them. I've heard children grow up and say, I never knew that my mom and my dad had like they were fighting all the time because they never did it in front of us and stuff. And then when you hear the parents talk, they're like, man, we fought like cats and dogs for like a good period of our marriage. And thank God we made it through that period and it made us stronger and stuff. But the fact that they were able to hold it away from the children, even though they were going through a little toxic rubble in a them marriage, that's honorable within
yeah.
itself. You know what I'm saying?
I know something too. He
Probably
himself,
that for him, him
like his,
say what?
huh?
Say so what you
His
gonna say?
parents,
Mm-hmm.
his mother and father went through something,
Mm.
and as they were saying, the kids sometimes don't know, but sometimes they do know that their parents are fighting and arguing. And he saw how his father really abandoned the family and how the father kind of stranded them. His mother had to do all that stuff by herself. She had to be in charge by herself.
So him
And he
have
grew up
guilt.
as CR, working to retirement. And I saw how hardworking she was and how he had to see that growing up. So he didn't want to leave his kids. Even
Right.
though he didn't like his wife and that fact she wasn't participating in the marriage at all.
Mm.
He didn't want to just leave his kids or subtract the mother from the equation and look away. He didn't want his kids to go put up their mother and
Yeah.
so I think he decided that he didn't want that. And he decided to stick it out and try to fight. Every day this man is arguing with his wife to try to do something new each day. And he still love her, but he's not angry with her that
Mm.
she's an evil person. But me and everybody else think
Well,
this lady is up to something.
well, no, want
But
him fling her out, but he's like giving her time, and you know,
he might give her a nice amount of time. I
not
am not
too
that
much.
patient. Should I be gone the day after? But him just take him time and say, dear, come on, you have to do something, man. Come on, man, you can't be sitting home all day. And she's like, well, me now move.
Well, you
So
know,
now she working, we
all
see
right.
if it change fear.
But thank you for sharing that story there, but I'm gonna expound on that. All right, big up yourself here.
All right.
All right. So in a case like that, right? I think that's the classic case of what I just explained. Like, but here what? Me see somebody say he married a woman, so everybody else should just stay out of them business. See, if that's gonna be the response, then I would put every man out there on warning. Remember when you married her, remember so when she come to you good and full your head with these ideas of, oh, I'm going to be so in love with this person for the rest of my life because she's just this and she assure you all these good things. Just remember, say, when she change for you, you're not gonna have no sympathy there because people are gonna say, well, you married her, so deal with it, right? Now, the thing about marriage is this: people change every day. People change year to year. And the more years go by, the more you change. That is why you are not the same person that you were at 20, that you are at 30. And when you hit 40, you won't be the same person that you were at 30. And you get what me I say? So it's a progression in life, and through time, people are gonna change. Now, if you want to step into the institution of marriage, like the man said to me, marriage is an institution for people who like being in institutions. So if you want to step into that institution of marriage, you must go in it with that mind frame, knowing that the person who you see today, who you are so madly in love with because they do all these 10 things on the list, a couple of years after you're married, that person might only do two of those things on the list. So don't fall in love with the list, fall in love with the person. You understand? And whatever it is they might become. Fall in love with the idea of loving this person for the rest of your life, which means you're going to lend to it a place for forgiveness, a place for we can separate and work on ourselves and come back together. Like we can fight through anything. You go sleep over there, so me go sleep over there. So, but the end result is we're never leaving. If you have a partner that is like that, on a share the same, then that can be a beautiful marriage, right? Marriage ain't all about happiness. That's the truth that a lot of people don't want to face. A separation in a marriage. God no. And we all know that freedom is out there in single life. Because if you're single, you don't have to answer to nobody. And people are talking about, well, who's going to keep you warm at night after the world not short of people? Most how we can get somebody tonight and get a next person tomorrow night and get a next person the night after. But if you're not geared like that, and that feels somehow nasty and unholy or dirty and perverse to you, then you're going to seek out to have relations that last, right? And if you're going to seek out to have relations that last, then that come with it. Nobody is going to end up being the same. People get with you highly motivated, ready to take on the world and conquer earth, and then next thing you know, them drop off and left you one. You go and go do it. Me glad. Me I sit down right there, so me not have to do nothing. You pay all the bills, then me good. You pay all the bills, you go take care of the kids, you do this, you do that, you cook, clean, do everything. I'll do some stuff when I get around to it and when I feel like it. And you're gonna have to deal with that. And you're gonna have to look at that, and these things can cause resentment. And you can look at your partner and be like, oh, I swear to God I hate a gal, or I swear to God I hate a man, yeah, and these kind of things. And those are the rough patches. That's the good or the bad and sickness and health and all these other things that your marriage vows entailed. So if you go take you by yourself, if you go take on marriage, then be ready. Be ready. But SouFlo, I think we get worked in people business and make our blood pressure high. My brother tried to involve me, but no way. Me and Toby says, me and Toby, if you're dealing with family and your family want to involve. Yeah, they are foreign that go on like your twang girl. Involve, when the Jamaican just come out. If that's your family, man, and your family wants to involve you in their affairs, then they're leaning towards you for support, my friend. That's all it is. You can't just turn your back on your family. And we see, this is something that we practice also, right? Let people business alone. Me don't want to hear nothing. My brother try get me involved and me never get involved because I feel business that. Well, when them find your brother around a back, with one rope around him neck I hang from the breadfruit tree. That's when you're gonna start being all remorseful and talking about Jesus Christ, why couldn't just talk to me? Why couldn't just tell me what I want so me I could have talk it out? Why never just talk to somebody? People need people to talk to. We're humans. Me don't know when we get to this callous place like me don't want to know none of your business, me don't want to know none of your business, them not know none of my business, and you pile all this pressure upon your head. It's good to have good people in your life that you can actually talk to. Because when time people don't have nobody to turn to, there's a feeling called hopelessness that is not a good feeling. And that hopelessness stuff can start depression, not a good feeling. And depression can lead to clinical depression, not a good feeling. Clinical depression leads to suicide. Fuck. You understand? Right. So your brother is leaning on you. I don't say I want to mix you up in his business. He's leaning on you. It's not something that he walk around and tell everybody proudly, yo, I'm having problems in my relationship. You can help me? I'm having problems with my wife. You can help me? Yo, me and my wife been going through something for like 2, 3 weeks. We ain't sleep in the same bed. You can help me? You over there. Can you help? I not saw him do it. He chose you. He chose you because he feels like you're somebody that he could confide in. He feels like you're somebody that will support him. The man say, him not send up, me not send up my blood pressure. Me don't want to hear your yeah. Me don't want to hear your problems them. Me not send up my SouFLo. I got in so much trouble in the past with the wives. Boy, listen, man. People need people to talk to, man. And if you're a good person and people bring you them problems, then it's because they feel like they can confide in you. And they also feel like them can get some wise words out of you. You know, you know that one person where you feel like, yo, me know, me kind of sure some me I do the right thing, but you know what? John always hit the nail right upon the head. Him very mature in his thinking. Him never steer me wrong yet. And it's somebody who me can actually really talk to. And if you have one of them there in your life, then you're good. If you have one of those in your life, you are golden. You know, and everybody have them in their life. That's why also it's important to keep real people around you. And now when I say real people, me not talk about real like this, me I talk about real people around you, people who are not afraid to tell you the truth. You know, say you're wrong. Me hear what you say. I'm not judging you, but as your friend, may I tell you the truth, you're wrong. That right there, you should not do that. This is how I would have handled it if I was in that situation. No, you have to go fix that, etc., etc. Don't encourage your friend on top, but yeah, man, he pop the fuckery and go on with more right and be a foolishness. Yeah, that's what the whole of them and make the and then your whole life collapse because you're listening to this dumb friend that is afraid to tell you the truth and just enjoy your toxicity. You know, it's important to keep real people around you. What I realize is going on Instagram, by the way, I talked about it yesterday, but we never post the video. So counselors are everywhere now, right? So me see like I don't know why they're popping up on my feed. So me see all these people who claim to be certified life counselors and mental health counselors and all these things. And when me go look like in them background and stuff, I realize that these people look like them themselves need counseling. So I'm thinking this look like a money grab. It's like pay cause ain't nobody counseling you about your life for free. That's a stranger. What are you gonna do when a million people decide to them want to come talk to you? You're gonna start charge some money, and then by order of pay and how much how about who could spend, you're gonna establish yourself with this $25 a month. You pay to this account, and you have me. You can talk to text me, text about blah blah blah, whatever. Call me or we meet once a week or twice a week, FaceTime, blah blah. Them people that they're never gonna look at you and say, you know, you got some real issues. You're messed up. You're a messed up person. Whoever is with you must be going through hell. I've been trying to talk to you for the longest, and you just keep diverting and you keep listen. See, they're never going to tell you the truth. So anybody your peer is never going to tell you the truth, right? But real people around you who don't want nothing from you other than your happiness, they're going to tell you the truth. And when them truthful, real people will tell you the truth, what do we do as humans most of the time? And them people that you cut off first. I jealous him jealous. Him always have something to say. But I know jealous him jealous. I tell him, did I try to tell you the truth, but you don't want to hear truth. So anybody that don't tell you the truth is dismissed from your life, right? Lulu Ridges, big up yourself and thanks for tuning in. Enjoy your day, cause weekend gone, but this is your weekend. True, like these life coaches. Yeah, them me I talk purple royal. Like there's a whole heap of them. I'm telling people like this, man. You see, social media is like is one big friggery. It mash up enough people life. Because when you go to social media, nobody goes to social media to be corrected. They go to social media for reinforcement. Now, you hear what I just said? Nobody goes to social media to be corrected. You already decided you didn't want to be corrected. I'm wrong and I'm strong. I'm gonna post this shit. And you post it, or when you post it, you have 50 frigged up people just like you who under the comment section, yes, girl, or yo, dog, yes, I got me, I saw my brother, and and now you feel empowered in your wrong. Now you feel empowered in your wrong. I don't know. The question we started out with though is who does marriage benefit more? So I'm going to speed through this part of the show because we have about 15, 20 minutes left, 18 minutes left. Let me end this segment like this. I was thinking women benefit more. I will tell men this though. I was thinking that, but here what me I gonna say to finish it off. But I will tell men this. A woman will love you or pretend to love you for a very long time. When she leaves, your children leave, your finances leave, some cases your house leaves. I've seen cases where the man lose all the house and have to go find somewhere live. I've seen cases, so you know what I'm saying? Because the judge is like, well, she gets the house, and the children gets to stay right where they've been living this whole time. We're not going to dislocate and relocate the children because you guys couldn't work your issues out. So and she gets the car, and so you're gonna take bus. You have to live in a hotel room or motel room until you fix yourself up and all these things. Like a woman will love you for a minute, but when she decides I don't want to do this no more. I don't know. It's not me. It's not you. It's me. She don't even have to have an excuse. It's not you. It's me. I'm just going through some things, and I feel like I've been neglecting myself and being a spouse or a wife to you for the past 10 years, and it's just driving me crazy. Like I'm forgetting who I started out being. I want to go find myself. I should file for divorce. The same woman, what did that pressure you for married her or not? You gotta put a ring on it. You can't date me for know how many years and not marry me, or I'm moving on. And you're like, damn, okay, fuck, we got a wedding date coming up. I will get married. She see him one turn round. I'll file divorce, pan you. And then when she files divorce, pan you, half your shit gone. Or more. Then half your stuff gone. So just keep that in mind, though, right? And the thing about that game is this. You don't know who's gonna do that. You don't know who's gonna be the forever rider versus who's not. Because people pretend so well. I was watching a video yesterday where the girl was like, "Oh, I'm a bad liar." If you follow me on IG, you know what I talk about. I'm a bad liar because the guy was trying to figure out which one of the women was there for money versus which one was there for him. And he's a boxer, and she's in college studying sports medicine. So she put her package together nicely. And when it come time for him talk to her, he was like, so what attracted you to me? Because I'm a one British accent. So what attracted you to me? What you see on me that you like so much? And she was like, well, I went to your background. I found out that you are a boxer and you're very physical, and I'm into physical fitness. Matter of fact, I'm in school and I'm studying sports medicine. So you being a boxer, me being in sports medicine, I think that would be a nice match. That alone, I was just blown away from the beginning. I was really attracted and stuff and all that. You hear that line there, how she sell that? And the thing go on and them the other interviews and stuff, and then by the time it came back to her, she was the one that was there for money. She wasn't there for him at all. So she sold him a nice package, And he really believed it. Man, I gone down pan one near talk about you're the one. She's the one. I'm choosing her. She's the one. And then the money came out. Are you gonna take the money or you're going to take continuing dating me? Like we start dating now and we'll see where this goes. She goes, oh, I'm such a bad liar. Um, I'm here for the money. I'm not, I'm not here for you. And she took the money. This wasn't a movie, This was a real life thing. So, life is, you don't know. It's a gamble, my friend. I saw them say life is a gamble. Life is a gamble, but usually personalities are there and there are actions there that will tell you, mannerism will tell you who's going to be there for the long run versus who isn't. And don't you ever ignore any of them red flag there. Me have a couple red flag that I will never ignore. And them the red flag there is like if I can't be joyful around you, if you don't appreciate life to the fullest, knowing that we could be dead at any friggin' minute, if you want me to spend all my last days being unhappy, if you're that kind of cantankerous kind of bully kind of person, if I can't speak to you about anything, all these other things, then it's not worth it, right? So you look for that personality, and if you suckering me in with a good personality, then I guess I'll just be suckered in. But I'm looking for nurturing. I'm looking for respect. I'm looking for something that feel. I don't know if you want to call it love, but it's the nurturing and the respect for me, that kind of stuff. So and encouragement, nurturing, respect, and encouragement. Them there, and I'll give those right back. I wasn't notified that you were on SouFlo. See, Marilyn Grant says she wasn't notified because YouTube does that sometimes. They don't notify anybody, and the people them slowly reach in until it's almost the end of the show. But Marilyn Grant, thank you for coming in, anyways. Right? To those who are here, don't wait on the notification because YouTube mess it up all the time. You know I'm gonna be on in the morning. Just check. Right? Check. All right. With that said, Seymour says, my cousin, I told my cousin once that she's a and she's pushing her husband away. Right now, she's still trying to get that same ex-husband back. Hey, it happens. It happens. Yeah, I remember my auntie telling me that, but man, if I wish I had stuck with that man. He was a bit older than me, but I think he was too mature and I wasn't mature enough at the time, she said. And now she's grown and mature and he's passed on, he's gone. And she says it all the time, like that's the best man that ever came into her life. But she wasn't ready. So that's how life go. That's just life. Hopefully, so on the question, who does marriage benefit more, woman or man? I think society is geared now to where marriage benefits women more than it benefits men. Because just like the story that the brother just tell just now. Remember, I seen women telling other women about that's the problem. Because y'all be doing wife stuff when they won't even wife you. That's why they not wifing you, because you're doing wife stuff. Well, y'all got us doing husband stuff before we even reach husband thing. Or if I'm with a man, he got to pay the bills. I'm not sharing no damn bills with no man. That means you're not ready to protect and provide and all this, right? So, so you are with the husband things as boyfriend, but you mustn't do wife things as girlfriend. No, it can't work. So I think society is kind of geared right now to this man hating thing towards. It's like no matter what the woman says, can't be wrong. If the marriage break up, it was your fault. Well, it was her. Yeah, but are you make she do it? It was, it's like that. That's how it is now. So end of the day, I think marriage benefits both if you have the right person. But good luck finding the right person. And there is no right person. Let me leave you with that. It's who you make right. Just saying. Cause people still are wait. My knight in shining armor is gonna come riding in on a white horse, big, tall, strapping, dark skin. Probably has dreadlocks that flows down her shoulder and a chiseled body. Shaka Zulu type warrior. Love that. No, I probably look a red man over there, so where walk with one foot. We're going to every time him walk, but you're just not seeing that because that's not my thing. I can't be with nobody look like that. I just saw I go. See? I was about to, Cats Boni says, I was about to say that no right person. Yeah, there is no right person. The right person is who you make right. That's it. And good luck to the people who jump relationship to relationship to relationship to relationship, because you're going to be doing that your whole life until you decide to take a break, right? You are. You are. Anyhow, moving on. We went through the Mattew Hyde stuff. We went through the marriage stuff. Is the FBI helping? I wanted to go through this one quickly just to verify, because a couple of people put it in the comment section yesterday that it was a lie, that the FBI was not involved, and some minister just announced it. SouFLo. If you go look under the comment section of the video I put up about the SSL thing and the money, they said it's a lie. The FBI is not involved. They lied. And that's a lie. That's a lie. Listen, may I run through it one time quickly? Kingston, Jamaica. The Jamaica Constabulary Force Counterterrorism and Organized Crime Investigation Branch, which is CTOC, and the Final Investigations Division, FID, have denied accusations that were made by the People's National Party of discrepancies about the FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigation, involvement in the ongoing fraud case at the Stocks and Securities Limited. So you know, them play politics with everything. So you have the opposition, People's National Party, who is not in power, who always pointing fingers because that's what they do. And when they're in position of power, JLP stay up on the side and point fingers too. So the PNP, apparently, from what I'm gathering here, was saying, why did you guys lie and say the FBI is involved? They clarified that. The opposition said in a statement on Sunday called for updates on the FBI's involvement in the SSL fraud investigation after it said that the head of CTOC, SSP Anthony McLaughlin, revealed that local law enforcement had the capacity to conduct the investigation and did not need the assistance of the FBI at this time. This, the PMP said, is a stark contrast to the prior public statement by the Minister of Finance I remember I read that to y'all before, right? And I said, yes, this is what I was waiting for, because I didn't want to get up and say the FBI is involved. And it turns out they're not. I was waiting for them to print it big and bold out of their own mouth and said, this is who said it. And they did. And we covered it here. And I said, okay, the FBI is involved. Them say, the PMP, them I say, well, that statement he made saying there we have the capacity locally and don't need their help at this time is a stark contrast to what y'all said before. Because before y'all said they are engaged, they're involved in the investigation. Now, in a joint statement on Sunday, here's the clarification. In a joint statement on Sunday, CTOC and the FID vehemently denied the accusations, stating there is no discrepancy in this matter. PMP, top make trouble. There is no discrepancy in this matter, as has been stated by the Minister of Finance and the Chief Technical Director of the FID, and that the FBI has been officially involved in the SSL case since January of 2023. There's no confusion. They are involved. That is it. However, in response to the accusation made by the opposition, CTOC and the FID said that the SSP McLaughlin's statement was in reference to the arrest and the charging of Jean Ann Panton for the fraud, where he said that the FBI was not involved. Now, them take it and turn it into something else. He didn't say they weren't involved in the whole thing. He didn't say we didn't need them now for anything. He said we had the capacity locally to handle Jean Ann Panton, getting her arrested or charged and putting her before a judge and all these other things. Jean Ann Panton, as we speak, is in lockup right now. She's the one that showed up in the wheelchair, and we said probably nothing gonna happen out of that. Well, she's in lockup right now, and she'll be going back to court pretty soon to sit before a judge. And the case they're trying to make is that she's too sick to be locked up. So I don't know if they want to throw out our charges and all these things. So there you have it. For the people who are running me down and I say, I like them to tell the FBI not involved. They are. They are. And there's no confusion. Politics are play, and that will confuse us. But I told y'all before that y'all need to read. But it's okay, because then there would be no room for me. That's why I'm like, read, 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 and then come give you the streets. All right. This is one that we should have went through, which I'm probably going to take off of here because it's now 8:56. Only 4 minutes left. Who's the daddy? More women are requesting paternity tests to verify whether their sons, their brothers, or their husbands have been given jackets. So these women that are that are requesting, so they're doing some study in Jamaica, and the study shows that of lately, a lot of women have been requesting paternity tests, but it's not women trying to figure out who she have the child for. It's family members of men who've been given children where the family look upon, or the new woman look upon, or his mommy or his sister looked at and said, sir, like a Roger don't look like you. Him not have nothing for you. Him not have your foot. Him not have your finger, hand. Him don't have your mouth. Him don't have your nose. Him don't have your eye. Him don't have your ears. Him don't have nothing for you. So we need a paternity test for your little boy there. Me not lie. Me love him and everything. And me hear what you say, and me know you love him too, cause you treat him like your only son. But me not think of yours. It's those women that are actually leading the charge, and most of the paternity tests are for. So more Jamaican women are reportedly requesting paternity tests than Jamaican men. And these are not necessarily doubtful mothers trying to figure out who get the baby, but vexed aunties, sisters, and girlfriends hell bent on proving that their loved ones or lovers might have been victims of a paternity fraud. When you're reaching a new relationship and the new woman starts size up your picnic them, I shall say, so that one doesn't look like you. Mm-mm. Because now she have a, she has to say, well, it's a six picnic SouFLo have. So him have to go share whatever with me and how much me I gonna give him. But um if me can eliminate some of them here, then we have more bread on the table to go around. So she start pick off you picking them one. That one they don't look like you. Look on him good. She don't look like you neither. Look on her good. I think we need to go get a DNA test for all these for all these children. So look at the eyes, his nose, Mari is the biggest example. I'm gonna close this video out at the last minute, right? By saying this. I say it already, I'm gonna say it again. Go get your DNA test done, man. Because haven't you ever ran into somebody who told you that, yo, you look just like this brother when we know from so and so? Because there are people out there that look just like you. Yeah. And Mari showed us that when they used to bring on the little baby and talk about, even though a lot of them cases on Mari, that child did not look nothing like the man. But you see how people wicked, the whole audience would sit there and go, boo! If the man said, nah, eyes don't look like mine, boo! Society, again, that's what I was talking about before, geared, even from them time till now, geared towards where the man is always wrong. Like you as a man can't look on a picnic and say, I mean, I accept the child is mine, but my child looks nothing like me. Just for you to say that, you're wrong. And the whole audience, boo! So instead of standing there and make people boo you and then talk about you, just quietly go get your paternity test. All right? You know people tell me that already before. Yo, you look just like a brother when me know from so and so. She might have met that brother and a Phoebe. And because him look like you, now the baby look like you too. With that said, out we go this morning on the dot of 9. And I will catch you guys tomorrow morning right here on Morning Thoughts, where we will talk about more things in the early morning. Have a wonderful day. Keep your spirits up. Be joyful. Find somebody to talk to if you have some problem. Don't hurt yourself and all these things. And I'll see you tomorrow morning. God spare we life. All right? I'm out. Peace.